Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hailka. I'm an empath, and I just like to do these talks on how I feel about things. I talk about feelings and emotions. I believe everything is vibration. For every emotion, there's a vibration related to that, a frequency. And that's what people are learning about. So as much as they try to put off or transmute certain frequencies until certain emotions are dealt with, it ain't gonna happen. And you can, we can try as hard as we will to match with food, alcohol, cannabis, so prayer, faith. It just whatever makes you feel better. At this point, people are just really wanting to feel good. And well, when there's good feelings, there's bad. And when there's bad feelings, there's good. It's just things are oh so interesting. I'm one episode away from watching the last. I have one episode left. Orange is the New Black, and well, it's just so interesting. I just see storylines, because we all tap into the same database. We all have access to the same thoughts and ideas and concepts, and it's just weird how some people's frequency, it has them look at one set of ideas and concepts and totally believe in them and discount others. It's also weird. I'm open to all ideas, because I've seen so many freaking things that were just not of this world. So my concept of this world has just always been different, It's always been different. Things people always said, oh, that doesn't happen. I've always seen happen. So, and things that people say, oh, that never happens, I've seen happen. And I think if people really think about it and, they and ask themselves, they dug real deep, they probably find out that they've had a lot of these experiences too. And that's what more people are finding out about. For every story that begins, there's an ending, So I was like, it's weird, or it's interesting, I love love, and I see people that love love, and they freaking become infatuated with the idea of love in any, fashion it is. People think love equates attention. People think love equates affection. People think love equates physical relationships, and when I tie any idea to one concept, then I end up selling myself short. Benzo, and it's over there on the sun and chair. So, Orange is the New Black. His time is so funny. It started 2013, and it was interesting. I liked it because there was a point in time, it was on for 7 seasons, 7 years, and that was how many years I had taken meetings to a place called Potawatomi County Jail in Council Bluffs, Iowa, every Friday night for many, many, many Fridays. That's how I spent my Fridays. I'd go to Potawatomi County Jail, and I'd share my experience, strength, and hope. The ladies there, let them know they don't got to end up there again. They could stay out of there if they want to, if they so choose. There's a different way to live. There's always a different way to live. So for 7 years, and it started, I was trying to figure out when I started that, because I stopped about 2009, I think, 8, 8 had to be, and the interesting part about that is it was my reality, going in, I get there a little early, and you get to know these ladies, and a lot of these women were, a lot of them didn't speak a lot of Spanish, and they were being held over, waiting to be deported and all that stuff, and it was a different president, and that's the thing is all of these atrocities that happen in life and by the hands of the rich, or I'm just going to say the greedy and the withholding, by the hands of the culprits that, suppressing people and not letting everyone live to their fullest potential, those guys, this is a storyline that's always existed, and it doesn't matter who the frickin' it's all that stuff is in name only. president, name only. What is it? What is it? Operational intelligence in name only. It's all gossip and rumors and hearsay and a bunch of people that when they're younger watch too much freaking stories about good old boys and 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 gangster flicks, and then grew up and made it their reality because they thought it was cool, and well, it's not cool, and it's really twisted up the balance quite a lot. It's really twisted up the balance. Um, so for every story that has a beginning and an end, Orange is the New Black. I think they really did a great job, and I didn't like the last season really mostly, like there, but it did its job, because if TV shows and movies and music are created to get you to think, then it brings up an emotion like anger. It's a trigger, it's injustice, and that's why I got triggered so much in it, because there was so much injustice. There were times when I was a little girl that I got taken away from my mom. So for every child that's separated from their mom, you know regardless of the circumstance, my heart relates to you, and I know that pain of not being able to say goodbye. So all of these emotions are very, very real, and more people are being made to feel these, so more people are being triggered, and we have to keep freaking feeling these feelings until they don't hurt us anymore, and that's the trick, is what can you do to get the feelings stop hurting. Well, if you keep doing things and the feelings still stay there, then what can you do different to get rid of the feelings? I spend a lot of time outside. I listen to Mother Nature a lot, because I get lonely. Mom's not a talker. Mom's very reserved. Mom's very private. She's going within right now. She's doing this thing where she's spending more time in bed. She just wants to lay there, just think. And I let her, because it's her own dignity, And that's another storyline that's come up. I don't like words like dementia and Alzheimer's. Those are freaking. It's when people check out, man. People check out. People check out of life. They keep dreaming and working towards goals, and for whatever reason, they just can't get them. And people get freaking burnt out of trying to put their energy towards stuff, so they freaking quit trying, And when people live the same day over and over, what's to retain? Muscle, memory, it's a muscle. Heart, electricity, it's all muscle. Our heart remembers to beat. If you don't feed your heart and give it enough love and reasons to beat, the spirit will find the uh, path of least resistance, and it'll just check out. People are doing it all over the place. All these young people, their spirits are bright and big, and they're checking out. 22, 23. It doesn't matter. They're just all contributions to source. Because, the way I look at it is everybody has negative and positive in us. And so, however we show up, we focus on the positive or the negative. So, if most of the time we're focusing on positive, we go into a room, we're adding our sum to that average, sum average, right? And then for every room, there's the block, and for every block, there's the city, and for every city, there's the town, and that is the average vibration. So, because there's been so much greed for so long, the sum total, all parts, in its entirety, the whole world has been in a great deal of fear, because if people are in fear, the vibration of fear, people are easier to control and to just do what they're told, So the thing is, though, is so many people have said things for so long that aren't true. Everybody's just calling bullcrap now. Everybody's just like, nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It ain't my storyline. It ain't my reality. It ain't my storyline, It's just when shows end, there's a lot of shows ending this year. Freaking Game of Thrones was a big one. It's all timelines. It's all timelines, and they remind you of You know, I remember when I think about shows, some shows I think about like the L Word. That was the last show that I watched with some girlfriends. We'd meet together every Sunday night or whenever it was on. And I'd drive down to where they live and we'd hang out and watch the L Word. You know, it's all about community. People are supposed to be living amongst their community, and so when the spirits come into the world and they're just all kind and loving and want to be a part of the community, you know, but they weren't they weren't born into one. They don't know how to find it, you know. I had a lot of trial and error. I've been burned a lot. I've burned people myself trying to figure out my community. I've hurt people. I've done my fair share of hurting people in my life. And so in order to do things different, what I try to do now is not hurt people anymore, or not, and I just try to speak from a place of honesty and truth, but not a place of fear, because when I start talking from fear based ideas, then that's when I start freaking hurting people or just being mean. You know, I don't want to I don't want to make people feel bad ever. I'm here as a light worker to try to make people raise their vibration and feel better. You know, there's enough bad feelings in the world. I'm trying to add to it, and then I get frustrated when I fall short. So, as Orange is the New Black is, you know, I think about when these shows end too, I also think about how, you know, all these people don't get to hang out and see each other every day and go to work. And I remember, you know, some of the jobs that I've had, people that I worked with became pretty special to me and pretty important to me. So, you know, there's a lot of endings, and because, you know, people, and a lot of people are handling or are resolving the wreckage of their past and previous pains and hurts, and when that's a lot, when that happens, then it allows the flow to come in and the healing to begin, and that's really beautiful. I think that show did a really great job of touching on a lot of key points that, you know, I hope people keep watching it, you know, for a long time, because I got to meet those paradigms of all the characters in the jail, you know. And people get stuck in a loop. People get stuck in a loop. They go with what they know and they just keep doing the same thing over and over, and sometimes it works out for them. Sometimes it doesn't. But I have found for me that when I add alcohol and drugs, then that just removes me farther from spirit. When I'm farther from spirit, I'm not getting messages that I need to move forth clearly. So that's why I got to keep things pure for me. Anyway, that's about all I got. I'm gonna go inside and try to take every moment as it comes, and not try to tie any kind of emotion onto any given moment today, because that's the kind of feeling I got about stuff. So anyway, thank you about driving nuts. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.